Okay, so I'm teacher waiting. Okay. I'm also new to 88 tuition. Last time I taught at other tuition agencies. But I also taught online tuition. So I'm quite familiar with how to run online tuition. So y'all don't need to worry. Okay, so as you know, now is school holidays. Okay. So we are not going to do anything too heavy. So I won't be in these 2 weeks at least. Okay, I won't be teaching you any new topic. All right. It will just be actually very fun. In fact, if you look at the slide today, you can see on the screen, what we are going to do today is we are going to make a toy. Okay, or I'm going to show you how to make a toy. And your homework, okay, your homework for today, next week, okay, you need to show me a toy that you have made. Of course, I will show you some ideas, so don't worry. Okay, so we know that basically toys, okay, first and foremost, before I start talking about toys, Wenxin, can you tell me, do you like science or you don't like science? I just want to have an idea.
I like science.
Oh, you like science, that's good. Okay, because some of the girls actually don't really like science, okay? Some of the girls I know, they prefer English or Chinese because they think science is a bit of a boy subject. So it's good that you like science. At least we are on a good head start. Emma, yourself, how do you find science in school?
Fun.
Fun, great. Okay, so I think today's lesson will further show you that science is actually quite fun. Now, I actually taught a P3 class just now, okay? And we were also teaching toy making. Of course, y'all will be making a more difficult toy, but the class ended a bit early, okay? Because there's not much material to cover because it's just showing you about making toys and introducing toys. So if today we end a bit earlier, I hope you all don't mind. But I will ask your parents to actually I will want to speak to your parents individually after lesson end. So I'll ask you all to call them. Is that okay? Okay, so without further ado, I will jump straight into today's lesson. Basically, we are going to make toys. Okay, it won't be just making toys. We also need to understand, okay, the science behind how the toys work. Of course, we'll be using simple, common household materials. Okay, I won't be asking you to buy like uh like a huge electrical circuit. I won't be asking you to, make all sorts of complicated wires. You'll realize that the toys we are actually making only need very common things that you can find at home. So don't worry. Okay. And why we are actually doing toys or making toys is, of course, to help you all to improve, okay, your thinking. Um, because when you make toys, you not only need to think of what toy you want to make, you also need to think of how to put the toy together and what is the science behind allowing this toy to work. So it's actually not as simple as you think it is. Okay, so I hope this activity will actually train all these aspects and also help you maintain or actually increase your interest towards science. Okay, so without further ado, there are some videos, but I will show this at a later part of class. What I want to show you first is this toy called the self-defeating fan car. Has anybody seen this car before? No, one seen also no. Okay, why is it called self-defeating? Okay, we usually know that cars are able to drive quite smoothly on the road, correct? As long as you have petrol, you press uh your pedal, the car can move. Now, this car, on the other hand, cannot move. Okay, that's why it's called self-defeating. Self-defeating means it doesn't allow itself to do what it should be doing. So this car cannot move. Anybody have any idea why? Why do you think this car cannot move? Do you think the problem is here or do you think the problem is here? Wenxin, what do you think? A or B? Just make a guess. What do you think is not causing this car to move? Is it part A or part B?
A.
Okay, Wenxin thinks it's A. What do you think, Emma?
B.
B, yeah. Okay, so we shall see later who is correct, which is actually the self-defeating part of the car. So I'm going to move on. We are going to look at how to make this car first. Okay, so of course, it's not super easy to make this car. So for homework, I won't expect you to make a car like that. Okay, but let's just look at how this person actually makes a car. So first and foremost, okay, the person is going to get a cardboard and it's going to draw out the outline of the car, as you can see. So the outline of the car looks a bit like a pointy shaped thing like that, without the thing lah, without the two cards sticking out. That's optional. Okay. Then we are going to cut it out. Quite simple. And that is actually a glue stick. It looks a bit scary, but that's actually a glue. So he has these two blocks that he's going to glue onto the surface of the cardboard. Okay? As you can see, now the cardboard is stuck on the surface. Why do we want to stick these two blocks on the surface? It's because I'm going to put something on top of these later. Okay, I'm going to put something elevated on top of these blocks later. That's why I need a raised up surface. Okay, so this is actually a small motor. Okay, a very small one to power the car. So as I mentioned, this is a bit more, as in the equipment that we need to make this toy is a bit more complicated. So I won't expect you to make a toy like that. Okay, but I'll just show you how it is done. So we have a small motor that I'm going to place on top of the block. All right. And to the motor, of course, I have to attach batteries. So as you can see here, these are wires. Okay. The motor is the thing that's going to allow the fan that you saw just now to spin. And in order for the motor to work, what do we need, Emma?
Battery.
Yes. So I'm going to attach the batteries here to these two silver dots that you see. Very good. So batteries actually y'all can get quite easily at supermarkets or whatever. So not complicated. You can see I'm going to attach the batteries to the motor. And then I have a small fan here. This is actually a propeller, a small fan. You can actually make this on your own or you can buy it. Actually, this is a bought one. It's purchased. If I want to make, this is how I make it. So I take a plastic bottle. You know your plastic water bottle? I cut off the top part. Okay? Then I cut, as you can see, I'm going to cut the plastic bottle like that. Make it like a squid, like got tentacles coming out of the bottle mouth like that. Until it looks like that. Mansing can? Okay. Then, this is the cap of the bottle. I am going to poke a hole through the bottle. Usually, this is quite difficult. So, actually, how you should do it is you need to have you should heat this up. So whether you use a needle or this sharp thing, it's better to heat it up so that I can melt the plastic and make a hole easily. Make sense? Because the plastic can be quite hard. Then after that, I'm going to attach, okay, the propeller to the motor so that this thing can spin. All right? And we have part B of the car. Okay? Now, we need to make part A of the car. Okay, just now Wenxin said part A of the car is what makes the car unable to move. So let's see how we make it. That one is quite simple. We stick two ice cream sticks vertically. And we cut out this pink paper or any color paper you want. It must be quite hard. Cannot be like tissue paper like that. And then we place glue on the ice cream sticks and we stick the paper onto it. So like making a door like that. Okay? And the next part of the car, what is missing is the wheels. Every car needs wheels. So how we're going to do the wheels is we're going to flip the car opposite and we're going to stick plastic. This can be a straw, okay, or it can be any thin plastic rod that you have to the bottom of the car. All right. Then these are similarly bottle caps. We are going to make a hole or drill a hole in the bottle cap so that we can attach it to the plastic rods. Do you all see that? So what I'm making is actually the wheels of the car. And the final product is like that. Make sense? All right, so now let's look whether it works or whether it doesn't work. Later I'll try and find a video for y'all. Okay, it missed my mind to not find a video. So if you actually look at the car, okay, one scene is actually right. Without part A, all right, you will realize that this thing will turn. Correct or not, Emma? And if this thing turn, what will be produced? It starts with W. Like a fan. What does the fan produce? Yes, I saw you mouth it. Wind. Okay? So the wind, Emma, it will be pushing in this direction A or in direction B. What do you think?
A.
Very good. Mensing, you agree? The wind will be actually pushing in direction A. So I'm going to erase this off. Now, the problem is when my wind is pushing in direction A, we have this huge structure here that kind of blocks the wind, correct? So the wind won't be able to push to the back of the car. As in, it won't be able to push here. It will kind of be blocked here. So, do you think the car can move? Because there is
No.
actually, the wind is being blocked here. So there's no pushing force being exerted on the car. Correct or not, Wensing? So Wensing is right. The structure that actually stops the movement of the car is structure A. Very good. Okay, so let me go through in detail, okay, why the car cannot. All right, so as we know, I'm not sure whether you heard of Newton before. You know the guy who sat beneath the apple tree and then the apple dropped down, that one? So he invented gravity. So Newton says that for every action, there's actually an opposite action, of course, of the same force, so of the same magnitude in the opposite direction. Okay, so this is what Newton says. So when the air comes out of, or when the wind comes out of the fan, okay, you will kind of expect, if I don't have this structure, okay, I will expect the air behind the car, the air in the surrounding, okay, to exert an opposite force to the wind coming out. I repeat myself. If you look at what Newton says that for every action, so this is the action of the wind, correct? There is an opposite reaction. So this is the reaction of the air. Wensin and Emmett, you understand? So without this pink color paper, this opposite reaction is supposed to push the car forward. Y'all can see that, right? Unfortunately now, sorry, yeah. Now with my, what am I doing? Okay, now with my pink color paper, you will realize that the air is blocked. So the wind is blocked. So there's no opposite movement allowing the car to move forward. Correct? Mansin and Emmet, correct? So this is why the car cannot move. Okay, I want you all to think, okay, what can I do now to allow this car to move? How can I make the car not self-defeating? Any idea? Want to see what can I do? Or Emma, try. What can I do to allow the car to move like it should be moving?